So you would think releasing would be easy, but it's not. It's not as simple as forgetting, okay? It's you shedding a version of yourself that is making you feel stuck, maybe a bit weak, anxious, stressed, and it's stepping into this strong, confident version of yourself. So by releasing certain things that have happened in your life, you're now setting yourself up to do new, exciting. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast, the Elevated Women's Club. I am so excited because we have another great topic for today, and it is taking your trauma and using that as kind of like a catalyst to go into your transformation. I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of us have been through things in life that we have either been triggered by or slightly traumatized from. Maybe someone's hurt us, maybe we've done something to psychologically hurt ourselves, something that we haven't really necessarily healed from. And that's something that we are going to be talking about in today's episode, because whether it's been on your heart to heal it or whether you know that there's something there that needs to be healed, that can set you up for that next step in your life and take that trauma and ultimately lead to your transformation. So going through trauma in the moment is really difficult. Like, we go through these things that are not good. You know, we live in this crazy world. Things are going to happen. People are going to do things to us. We are going to have lived experiences, and trauma can leave scars, right? So when we are thinking of the trauma that we've been through, we acknowledge that as a setback. But when we begin to heal and go through the healing process, it's not just so much of overcoming or bouncing back from the trauma or just completely forgetting it and ignoring it. It's really about acknowledging what happened to you and then becoming stronger, wiser, and more self-aware, right? After you go through something traumatic. The transformation that you are desiring and are so deserving of sometimes comes from breaking free of those traumatic experiences and those traumatic chains that are hindering you from taking your life to the next level by just healing and acknowledging that it happened to you, and then working on the steps that we're going to talk about in order to get past that and to actually come into that transformative person that is waiting to be released from this trauma. And I do personally believe that there is a difference between hurt people and people who are healing. And it's really the difference in how they let the trauma affect them. I feel like hurt people are the people that are pushing down, ignoring, passing judgment on others. They're not acknowledging what actually happened to them and how they are affected by it. And then I think that with people who are healing, I feel like they are slowly working to mend those broken and hurt parts of themselves. That way they can build themselves back up and be the person that God created them to be. You know, that full, happy, whole, authentic version of themselves that they know they were created to be. Unfortunately, not everything can be butterflies, rainbows, sunshine. Like, sometimes you need to take that pain and you need to turn it into power. So the first thing that is going to happen on your transformation journey is going to be the acknowledgement phase. And this is crucial. It's critical. You have to acknowledge the trauma that you have been through, okay? It's going to be painful. It's not going to feel good. Sometimes you don't want to admit that someone hurt you in such a way that you don't even think you can recover from. Sometimes you don't want to admit that you hurt yourself and you put someone else through something that you don't know if they'll recover from. It's really difficult depending on what the situation is, right? And we all have vastly different experiences that we've gone through. But if you don't acknowledge that happened to you, you'll never be able to get to that next step in your transformation because you haven't even said what you need to heal from. You can't transform from something if you don't know what it is that's keeping you from that transformation in the first place. Some of us have not lived a life of trauma, but I know if you clicked on this video, you have probably unfortunately experienced something. So a lot of times, as opposed to looking at your trauma as something negative that happened to you, which it was, but how can you learn from this? How can you grow? How can you acknowledge that you have something you need to heal from? That way you can get to the next step and progress your life and transform into the person who you were created to be and live a life that's not affected so deeply by this external world that we all live in. I feel like your transformative journey, you will learn, I promise, that you will not worry so much about everything that happens outside of you. The second thing that's going to happen on this transformation journey that you're going to need to figure out and work out what the best thing is for you will be finding an outlet. So after you acknowledge that there is a problem, you do have trauma, you do have to heal from some things because you find yourself being explosive or maybe being sad or depressed, having anxiety, stress, whatever that looks like for you, you're like, okay, I know there's something in me that I need to heal. Now I have to find an outlet in order to get these things out of my mind and get them into something else. So whether that be journaling, writing, talking to a therapist, doing some shadow work prompts, whatever that looks like for you, I do recommend that you do a combination of everything. See what works for you, because when I tell you I went from therapy to journaling, that I feel like journaling wasn't working for me at the time because I wasn't diving deep enough. I didn't understand what it meant to heal from something. And so I didn't know what to do when it came to writing these things down. So I then started looking at some content online, finding the best thing that worked for me. And I found that shadow work prompts, you can find them on Pinterest, you can use Google, ChatGPT. I can even put some in the description below. But shadow work prompts are incredible because you just dive deeper. You know, if you're finding yourself angry all the time and then you ask yourself, okay, where does this stem from? Okay, maybe childhood. I was neglected. People got angry at me for me not performing the way that they thought I should perform. That makes me angry now when people don't meet my expectations. So now that I identified where it came from, how do I acknowledge that that happened to me? And then how do I correct that within myself? Because that is what shadow work is. It's about you. It's internal. You can identify where a problem came from, but you can't look externally for the solution because this is your shadow self. You're battling your shadow self. Something is trying to reveal itself deep within you. So now you're going to have to step up to the plate, take ownership, get really real with yourself, acknowledge why this is the way you are, but then how can you be kind and gentle to yourself to say, okay, I do get upset and I might get triggered for very small things, but what's one action that I can take in the future to not be so triggered by a situation, depending on what your trigger is in the future, that can help me overcome this level of anger that I have deep within myself. Like, you really have to dive a lot deeper. So when I came back to journaling after that, it was so much easier for me to process and get really real with myself because, again, I don't attack myself in my journaling sessions because I'm using that as an outlet. These are just my notes, things that I feel I need to work on. There's tons of positive stuff in there that I write about myself, and I recommend that you do that too, because you have to make sure that you're not identifying only things that you need to, I guess, change or get better with on your transformation journey. You have to also identify and acknowledge the amazing, wonderful parts about yourself that you want to continue improving on when it comes to your transformation journey. So this kind of runs into the third part of this transformative journey that you're on. You know, you've acknowledged that you have something that you need to heal from. You acknowledge that you had trauma. You have found an outlet, whether that be therapy, journaling, shadow work, a combination of all three. Again, I do recommend it be some form of writing. That way you get it out of your head and onto paper, and you will be surprised with how much things flow out of you, I promise, okay? But now the third part is reflection. Again, that's kind of what you're doing in the outlet phase, but you're really just writing. You're getting those thoughts out of your head and onto paper. The third part being reflection, it's now diving deeper into what part you played in this trauma journey. And I know that's gonna trigger some people. You're gonna feel like you didn't play any part, that should have never happened to you. And you're right, it shouldn't have, but it did. So now we have to acknowledge it and heal from it. And you know, you would be surprised, honestly, because I was the type that I was blaming everything on everyone else, and I didn't take any ownership. I'm just going to be honest, in the beginning of my healing journey, because I didn't think I had anything to heal from as far as the part I played in some of the trauma and the things that I let people do to me. So, when you're diving deep into these sessions with yourself, ask yourself, did I stay in a relationship longer than I should have, knowing the things about this person that I knew, knowing my intuition was trying to tell me something that I didn't listen to? Did I let someone do something to me because maybe I didn't voice and vocalize my issues with them, before it got to a point where it's just so bad that I can't even process, I can't even deal? Like, was there a part that you played? Did you stay too long? Did you not tell someone how you feel? Did you not communicate properly? Are there things that you want to change going forward that you just need to think about? That's what reflection is. It's, again, you don't have to share these with anyone. This is not for anyone. You are transforming yourself. You've acknowledged, you've written it down. Now it's time to start getting real, and it's time to start thinking about maybe some of the things that you did. And again, acknowledge the good things. Maybe you said, okay, I took in this person after they fell in a hard time. They took advantage of me. Maybe I didn't communicate my needs and expectations to them in the beginning when we first started living together. But now going forward, today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, give yourself some grace. But now I am going to communicate that to them. I don't feel comfortable. They are still here. And I feel like it's getting to a point where it's going to become an unlivable situation for us in the future because I'm not vocalizing and I'm not telling them something that's bothering me, right? Like, when you're thinking about this, think about something that's going to make you feel better at the end of this transformation journey. How can you get stronger, wiser, more confident? That is what you need to be asking yourself as you're going through this transformation journey and reflecting on the things that have happened to you, because I guarantee you a lot of things will come up, a lot of things that you'll need to hold other people accountable on, because it's not just you in this journey of life. You are not alone. We are all going through this thing together, and you can easily ask people to help you with things. You can easily ask people, set boundaries with people and tell them what you will accept and what you won't accept. These are just going to be part of the things that you need to think about as you transform into this new person that you're becoming. So the fourth thing that is going to need to happen on this transformation journey that you're on is going to be a release. And I know, easier said than done. Releasing trauma is not for them, it is for you. And it's difficult, right? Because we are human beings. We are the most complex beings on the planet, just about. And we have thoughts, emotions that affect our decisions and our actions. And the brain is such a powerful organ. It's so powerful in the sense that it does not want you to be in danger or hurt at any given time. Its main objective is to keep you safe, alive, alert. And if you think about it, it's really primal, because now we don't really do that anymore. Like, we're not in a sense of survival mode all the time. I did do another video about self-created survival mode that I suggest you watch, because your brain is, again, so powerful, but it's trying to allow you to survive. And when trauma happens, it tenses up. It can't function, it can't think, it just wants to get you out of that situation. So even when you think about the trauma that you experience, it immediately tenses up like you're in that same situation, and it tries to either repress it, get away from it, the fight, flight, freeze method, whatever that is. It's very smart, but it's not smart enough to know that you're not in that same situation again. It wants to keep you safe, so it doesn't even want to think about it, right? Like, it does not want anything to do with those negative thought patterns. And so you would think releasing would be easy, but it's not. It's not as simple as forgetting, okay? It's you shedding a version of yourself that is making you feel stuck, maybe a bit weak, anxious, stressed, and it's stepping into this strong, confident version of yourself. So by releasing certain things that have happened in your life, you're now setting yourself up to do new, exciting, maybe a little scary things, right? Whether that be we're always told, like, look, you need to get a job, you need to work for 40 years, keep your head down, stay focused, and then maybe you'll get 10 good years of retirement before you die. I don't know. Maybe that's what you were told, and maybe that's not what you want. So if that's not what you want, how do you change that? You identify, okay, that was a trauma that was told to me when I was a child. I am no longer a child. I don't feel like that is my path in life. I am now going to use my knowledge, my understanding to, again, maybe it's start a social media account. Just put content out there just to get more confident and to help people. Right? It doesn't have to be make money online fast. Like it can just be something so simple. But your mind is automatically like, no, we're not that person. We don't put ourselves out there for criticism, to be hurt and targeted by others. You are not the person that goes online. You are not the person that speaks her mind, and you are not the person that helps other people, right? Because again, you were told that for your entire life, and now you're trying to change that, and your brain does not like that. So unfortunately, it's like your brain is going to give you these limiting beliefs that are not true about yourself anymore. And the only way you change this is by pushing past it in order for you to get to that next point in your life that you're releasing it. You're saying, okay, brain, I appreciate you for sending me that thought that this is not who I am, but this is who we are now. I may be afraid. I may not want to do this in the beginning, but it will get easier, just like everything else that you have helped me through in life. And you have to have these small conversations with yourself, or else you will never be able to push past the fear and release what was told to you, what happened to you, and become that new, amazing, whole, confident, strong version of yourself that you want to be. And now the last step, because you've done so much work, you have been so patient with yourself, you've acknowledged, you've written it down, you've reflected, you've released it. Now, just slow down and find peace in what you're doing now and who you are and who you're becoming. Because I promise you, it is a lot of work. And you cannot continue to run around, think that there's something that you need to fix, continue to blame other people, blame yourself, all of those things. I promise that you will find relaxation and peace at the end of your transformation. Why? Because honestly, we're all on this journey together, but God does not care about your timeline. He wants you to become the person that you were created to be. He doesn't care how long that takes. So your transformation journey can last years, maybe it can last months. I don't know. I've never seen that, but we're always growing, always transforming. There's always something to heal or grow from. And I feel like we forget that a lot of times, and we don't think that it's important for us to continue to heal or continue to slow down and be happy with where we're at, because we're always thinking about what's next, what's next, what's next. And that's not healthy. It's not healthy. And I promise when you find peace and ease in things, you will know that you are getting to a place of transformation, because you've been so stressed. You've been holding on to so many things in life, and it has not served you very well up until this point, unfortunately. So I just urge you to release, relax. And if there is something that you're working on in your life that you need to know whether or not you're going in the right direction, I will tell you that if you know you are going in the right direction in life with where you're at, what you're doing, you will feel peace. You will feel calm. You will feel cool and collected. It will not be stressful to you. It will not make you anxious. You will not feel like you're missing out on something. You will not feel like you're not good enough. That is how you know you're in the wrong thing, the wrong field, the wrong area of life. I don't know what that is for you, but I promise that if you are transforming and getting better, then you will feel peace. You will feel ease. It will not be stressful. And that is full-scale transformation journey, because I'm still on mine. We're all still on our transformation journey. But what does that look like for you at the end of the day? Have you found peace, or are you still stressed? Are you still anxious? Are you still nervous? If so, I would encourage you to go back through steps 1 through 4 and try a few of those again, because I promise it's going to get easier for you. It's going to feel better, and you will just learn to exist in a way that you probably haven't really existed before. So that is all for this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. If there are any questions you have on your transformation journey, like I said, we're all going through it, but I know that there are some things I can help with. Leave a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can, because I want us all to be successful on this journey of life, and I want us to all find peace, all be calm. Take our trauma, turn it into a transformation, because you do not have to hold on to it anymore, sis, I promise. Release it, let it go. It is going to be okay. Okay, until next time.